All right, that's what the yard's looking like after it's done. Cut pretty good. That Cub Cadet can cut somewhat of some stripes. Kind of striped it up a little bit. But yeah, grass is cut, looking nice. 3.5 acres cut. So I'm gonna do a little review on this mower. All right, I'm gonna do a review on this Cub Cadet Ultima ZT1. It's a 54-inch. Looks like it's got some lights in the front right there. Got the Aero Force deck, 54-inch. I've done a lot of cutting in my day. Had close to 80 lawns that I was cutting per week. Usually use Skag or X-Mark mowers. For the most part, I've never used one of these Cub Cadets before, but well, I actually stopped mowing. I don't mow anymore. I give all my mows. I still do landscaping. We're out here, one of my customers' house, we're putting mulch in. So she asked me, she said, hey, can you cut my lawn? I don't have enough time. She's on 3.5 acres. So I was like, yeah, I can do it as long as you got the mower. So she has the mower, so we cut it with this 3.5 acres. This bad boy, he cut it with no problem. Single pass straight through the grass. Had a decent amount of power. We've got, I believe, 579 hours on it. So this mower is a little bit different from the ones that I'm used to. As you push the throttle all the way up is the choke, and then you put it back to the middle for full throttle, and then down for slow. Here's your little blade engagement right here. Neutral. One thing I did really love about this thing is these grips. These grips are nice and thick, and they're really comfortable, the grips. But I mean, it's a little bit slow. That's the only downside I could say about it, is I'm used to the commercial grade mowers and they go really fast. But it definitely got the job done. It took me about 2 hours to cut 3.5 acres, so I probably would have been able to get that done with the commercial mower probably an hour 15, something like that, maybe an hour. So definitely a little bit more time it took. But if you're a homeowner and you're not trying to make a profit and getting out there and you have plenty of time, you're not trying to knock as many out as you can to try to make some money, I think this is for you, this mower. So I think this is definitely for a homeowner. I don't know if I would buy it for commercial purposes and trying to make some money. I mean, it will make you money. It'll be a good starter mower, but I think for a homeowner, yeah, very good mower. But for a commercial grade, if you need to get it just to save some money, what I would recommend is just going ahead and getting something off the marketplace with a few hours on it, a little around the same price as one of these, save a little bit of money, but actually go commercial grade because they last a lot longer as well. This is pretty cool. It's got the height adjustment here on a little spin knob. I put a little bit of gas in here. I don't think it burnt too much gas, so there's still a lot of gas left in here. Did a 3.5 acres, so the gas consumption's really good on it. It's a 24 horsepower Kohler. Like I said, it was a pretty comfortable ride. The only downside I could say about it is it was a little bit slow, but other than that, it cut. The cut quality is pretty nice. You can see the grass right here. It looks pretty nice. It just didn't stripe up as good as like the commercial grade ones that stripe really well. So like, seat was very comfortable. Had a good position with the handles, and the handles were really nice. It's got some pretty wide tires here on the back, and got a little foot pedal adjustment. Comes in clutch when you're going over a bunch of roots. You just push this little pedal down and it lifts up the deck. That way if you're going over like a little bump or going over something, curb or something like that, you just push that in. It'll lift the deck a little bit. That way you don't scalp and hit the deck on things. So, but it looks like a pretty well fabricated deck. Decent quality there. Nice free floating deck. So yeah, for this mower, I definitely recommend it for a homeowner, but not commercial grade. But it definitely cuts grass and gets the job done. So like, comment, subscribe for some more reviews. Check out my reviews on the X-Mark and the Skag V-Ride 2 and the X-Mark Radius. I got a couple reviews out there on those too. So all right, we'll catch you later. Here's another shot of the grass back here too. There's the backyard. I think cut pretty nice. Cub Cadet Ultima. Go get you one. I don't know if you can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's. One of them sells it. So You might even be able to get it at one of the dealers. But that's what I recommend, going to one of the big dealerships that sell like the Skag, Exmark, Gravely, Hustler, any of those big name brands, the ones that you see all the mowing crews going by running. You know, that's what I did. I was like, hey, what are all these other contractors using that they love? And they're mowing every day, all day. They got 3 or 4 mowers. So I've never had any problem with the Exmark or the Skag, and I've had Ferris too, is pretty good. So that's all I really have experience with. I did have Kubota too. Kubota mower was really nice. So I think a lot of them are pretty much the same. They're all gonna do pretty well, just depending on what grade you get. If you get the commercial grade, homeowner grade, midway commercial, or the full-fledged commercial. But you're gonna pay for that little bit of extra quality and speed and everything else. But if you're doing it to make money, you might want to invest a little bit more to get your money back. So